He wasn't the sort of like talky emo dad that I am with my kids. I mean, my kids can't stop me from giving them advice and sharing feelings and stuff. But yeah, he was sort of like German engineer background, not stiff, but also not one to be talking about his feels. But he loved to spend time with his kids and loved to do projects with us. And especially with this project, there were two things I learned from him. One was his sense of humor never flagged. And I was obsessed with grief after my mom died. And he was grieving too, but he was finding this optimism, this way of kind of taking charge of what life he had left. He just embraced every day, and not in a like I'm getting up and embracing the day way, but just sort of got up and by example got up and did it. And the other thing I learned from him, I think, that I was very aware of was a kind of patience that he has. My dad was a very we jokingly called him Antsy Pants because he was like, whenever we would go somewhere, he's like, let's go, come on, it's time to go. And he seemed very impatient. But in this woodworking project, I would be like, let's get through this drudgery of sanding, or just, some of the parts of it weren't fun. And he's just very detail-oriented, very, sort of gracious about the process, which was a great lesson for me as a writer. Not that he would have thought that, but to remember that the parts of it that aren't fun require just as much of you as the parts of it that you love doing the most. And so, just that process and writing while I was working on this woodworking project with him was a really instructive thing for me. The one thing that he embodied that I always try to remember, and he's helped me remember, since we went through this process, is that teaching requires humility. Even though it seems like you are the center of attention in the classroom and that somehow you have something more than they have, it really requires listening and empathy, like thinking of what they need from you. And my dad was very aware in this process of where my weaknesses were as a woodworker. And so, like, for instance, with the router, this one tool that has always kind of like befuddled me, and in fact I get kind of badly injured with it early in the process in the book, he would continually recognize that I needed to be in control of the router up to the level of danger, and then with him like just there, but he gave me as much leeway as he could. And just that little lesson has kind of recurred to me a few times in the classroom. It's like, how much do I need to give this person, and how much do I need to let them kind of take it from there? And it's so individual, especially in a writing classroom where everyone's skill levels and ambitions are different, that you have to kind of adjust with each of them.